I must tell you, one of the most misunderstood virtues in the pursuit of wealth is frugality. Many people imagine the wealthy as men who spend without thought, who indulge every whim, who drape themselves in luxury simply because they can. But I assure you, such men rarely remain wealthy for long. It is not extravagance that builds empires. It is careful management, restraint, and the art of making every dollar serve a greater purpose. When I first earned wages as a boy, I learned quickly the difference between a coin spent and a coin saved. The coin spent is gone forever, but the coin saved becomes a seed. That seed, when planted with care, grows into a tree that bears fruit year after year. If you scatter all your seeds on trifles, you will have nothing left when the season of planting comes. But if you preserve them, if you guard them and sow them wisely, they multiply beyond measure. I do not preach miserliness. Miserliness is a disease, a man so consumed with saving that he forgets to live, to give, or to invest in that which brings return. That is not what I mean by frugality. Frugality is simply the mastery of money. It is the ability to control your spending, rather than let spending control you. It is the discipline to deny yourself today so that you may command far greater resources tomorrow. In my years of business, I never forgot this. I could have filled my office with lavish furniture, entertained in grand style, and lived in a constant parade of excess. Many men did just that. And many of those same men, once respected and envied, lost everything when leaner times came. I, instead, lived with restraint. I watched every expense, not because I loved money for its own sake, but because I understood that every dollar wasted was a dollar that could not be invested in growth, in opportunity, in the very ventures that would later create abundance. Let me put it to you plainly. Wealth does not come to those who cannot manage a small income. If a man squanders a few dollars, what hope has he of wisely managing a fortune? Every empire begins with the smallest foundation stones, and those stones are laid when you learn to govern your money rather than letting money govern you. You must remember, the habits you form when you have little are the same habits you will carry when you have much. If you are reckless when poor, you will be reckless when rich. If you are disciplined when poor, that discipline will multiply wealth when riches come your way. Do not think that you will suddenly become wise with money simply because you earn more of it. The truth is the opposite. Money reveals what you already are. When I was building my enterprises, I often said to my partners, "Take care of the pennies, and the pounds will take care of themselves." Many laughed at such a statement, thinking it too trivial. But I assure you, empires have fallen because men ignored the small leaks that drained their fortunes. A careless expense here, a needless indulgence there. These mount up, and soon even vast wealth begins to crumble. But the man who is frugal, who monitors even the small sums, builds a fortress of capital so strong that no storm can bring it down. Do not confuse frugality with poverty of spirit. A frugal man is not one who starves himself or refuses every comfort. Rather, he is a man who understands value. He does not pay $10 for what is worth $5. He does not chase the fleeting applause of others by displaying his riches in gaudy fashion. He measures carefully. What return will this bring? What opportunity am I sacrificing if I spend here instead of saving? Every dollar has a duty, and the frugal man ensures it performs that duty. Think of frugality as a guard at the door of your fortune. Extravagance will come knocking, promising you pleasure, urging you to join the parade of consumption. But the guard of frugality asks, "Is this purchase necessary? Does it contribute to my purpose?" If the answer is no, the guard refuses entry. Thus your resources are protected and preserved, ready to be employed in the service of building, investing, and multiplying. In today's world, where advertising and distraction assault you from every side, this guard is more necessary than ever. Every company seeks not only your money, but your habits. They wish to train you to spend, to gratify every impulse, to exchange your long-term future for momentary pleasure. Resist them. Stand firm. Be master of your money, not a servant to the merchants of temptation. The young man who earns a modest wage but saves a portion faithfully will, in time, surpass the man who earns a great income but spends it as quickly as it comes. This is no theory. It is a law as certain as gravity. For money saved and invested compounds upon itself, growing silently, invisibly, until one day it stands as a great fortress. But money spent is gone forever. When I think back on my career, I can trace much of my success not to brilliance or boldness alone, but to frugality. By saving, by avoiding needless expenses, I always had capital ready when opportunity appeared. Many of my competitors, though talented, had tied up their money in waste. When a chance arose to buy a valuable asset or to expand into a new venture, they were unprepared. I, having preserved my resources, was ready. Thus, frugality became the very engine of growth. You may ask, "But Mr. Carnegie, what about generosity? Should we not give? Should we not enjoy?" And I tell you, of course we should. True wealth is to be enjoyed and to be shared, but generosity without frugality is but a momentary blaze, bright for an instant, then gone. Frugality ensures that your generosity has deep roots, that it can continue year after year, that your giving may be sustained and multiplied. Learn, therefore, to take joy not in spending, but in saving. Let it be a game to see how much you can preserve, how wisely you can invest. Watch your capital grow and feel the strength it gives you, the strength to seize opportunity, to weather storms, to build not only wealth, but security. And once your wealth is secure, you may give with a free hand, knowing that your resources will not vanish overnight. I tell you now, wealth without frugality is a castle built on sand. But even modest means, guided by frugality, can rise into greatness. Begin where you are. Save what you can. Spend only when it serves your higher purpose. And remember always, money is a servant, not a master. Treat it with respect, and it will multiply. Waste it, and it will abandon you. That is the art of frugality. It is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It is the quiet strength upon which empires are built.